Watching the 2025 SCAC Baseball Media Days. Today, we're taking a look at the Concordia University baseball program. Tornadoes once again be led as they head into the season of the guidance of head coach Clint Mokry, along with leadership from graduate student Otto Franz. And Coach Otto, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Coach, we'll open up with you heading into your 16th season with this program, your third as the head coach of this Tornadoes baseball program, coming off an outstanding season. Since you've been there, back-to-back 25-plus win seasons. You closed out last year winning 14 of your final 16 through that regular season, including 4 straight in the ASC Conference Championship tournament to ultimately crown the ASC champions and get into the NCAA tournament once again. What did you learn about this group, about this program as you go on that championship run, close the season out in the manner you did, and ultimately how excited are you to be back with this group and entering a new challenge in Concordia baseball heading into the SCAC?
Well, what I learned it's with each group is that it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And this group really finished well. We didn't have the best start off to the year, but we knew there was talent around this group and talent in the program. And it finally came together, and we finally started playing the way that, we're accustomed to play and the way that we're taught and the things that we work on. And I learned that, every group is different, right? You're not always going to have the same outcomes and the same personalities together and the same, the same team dynamics. And it's really up to, obviously the coaching staff to always kind of hone that in to where you want it to be, but it's really up to the guys to make sure that they're, that they lead by example to other players and make sure that they're, relaying the messages that we put forth. And, it was a good year last year. But moving into a new conference and you gotta prove yourself all over again.
Otto, coming into this season, I know it's an exciting year for you, not only in the manner in which last season closed, but you're heading into your final season at Concordia there as a graduate student and one of the leaders with this team. I'm interested just in a vibe check from the boys thus far as preseason has unfolded. As we talked about, a remarkable run to close out a championship season last year. Now, coming into this new challenge of the SCAC, what's been the vibes like at practice, and what's your mindset coming into this final season there at Concordia?
I'd say the vibes are high. I think we're really focused on what we want to do as a team. I think we've spent the fall and early this spring honed in on what our goals are. There hasn't really been any distractions or anything. It's really nice to have last season kind of almost in the bank in a way. So we not only have been there before, but know what it takes to get to that point. I think previously we've, had seasons where we're trying to figure it out as we go, but now that we've had kind of that pedigree with a lot of our players, I think we can be a lot more confident going into different situations throughout the year, early on instead of figuring it out as we go later on.
Coach, tell us a little about this team. Tell us about this program for those who may be new to Concordia baseball coming into the SCAC and not seen this team play as much in the past. How do you like for your team to step into the box? What's that approach you usually like to have them take? Your philosophy with your guys going to the mound? Who are some players you expect to make an impact? Just tell us about this group and what we need to know coming into the season.
The guys have got to understand that they got to take care of the little things each and every day, and they have to control what they control and learn to control what they can control. The biggest thing with baseball is it's a game, and sounds very cliche, but it's a game of failure. How are you going to handle those failures each and every day? Because every day is not going to be perfect. Whether you're at practice or in a game, different situations, you're going to fail at some point. And how you learn from those situations and what you do with it the next time is really defines you as a player. For people that really haven't seen us, that much. We have a proud tradition here of in our baseball program. We expect certain things out of our players. We expect them to do the right things on and off the field. We obviously want them to play hard each and every pitch, each and every out, each and every inning. And we just want them to go forth and make sure that they are taking care of everything that they can take care of. And, when you do the little things correctly, whether it's, laying a bunt down when you need to, moving a runner over, throwing a strike when you need to, throwing that 3-2 breaking pitch, sometimes, things will take care of themselves. So you just got to be confident in yourself. And we try to instill that in our players and make sure that they, each and every day that they come out with a confidence and knowing that we're putting them in certain situations because we trust them. And, if they can get the job done for us, they'll continue to get in those situations. And, it's a great game that we're a part of. It teaches you so much about life and, just what you need to do to get through, just the daily trials and tribulations of being a grown adult.
Otto, you're coming off a spectacular season a year ago, first team All ASC, really sparkling numbers across the board, career best in terms of wins, games started, innings pitched, complete games, ERA, just a spectacular season. And I'm interested, what does a year like that do for you in terms of your confidence? What did you learn about yourself, going through such an outstanding year, and how have you continued to push yourself and grow that confidence coming into this final season?
It's great to have a year like that, but I feel a very important thing is to put what's in the past kind of in the past. It's nice to have that, but at the same time, how I played last year is not going to affect how this team goes. So it's just about learning from the preparation I had last year and what led to successes, what led to failures, taking that and starting fresh and kind of resetting mentally, saying, I haven't earned anything this year. It's all up for grabs. So it's the same mentality, being hungry, wanting to get as many innings as you can, be as efficient as you can, taking the things I've learned over this long 4 years to hone in and try and have the most successful season yet.
Coach, you talk about coming into this new conference and wanting to prove yourself, kind of restarting that level of measurement. I'm interested, what do you see as some of the biggest challenges, coming into this new SCAC? Obviously, there's some opponents that are non-conference that are now conference foes, some old conference foes coming in to the SCAC with you as well. The league in itself is as big as it's been since 2012 from a baseball perspective. So what are some of those challenges you expect to see, and how is this group prepared to face those going into the year?
From a conference standpoint, I mean, you hit it right there. I mean, it's really about, familiarity. I mean, there's a lot of teams that we've never played before in my 16 years here. There's obviously there's teams that we played before that were in our conference before that we're back into the same conference. So really, I mean, just the travel part of it, and getting to know the places that you're traveling and where to stay, where to eat, how to get your pregame going and how to get all that mechanical stuff before you actually get to the park. I mean, baseball is baseball. I mean, we're gonna play our style, no matter what the opponent is. I mean, we don't really change on depending on who we're playing. Our style is our style, and we're gonna go about it in that regard. But the biggest challenge I see, other than moving into the new conference with a bigger, more teams and stuff like that, is just the fact of what Otto just said a second ago, and we try to hit this with our players often. Last year's last year, and a sense of entitlement is the worst thing that you can possibly have. And when you're going into a new season, no matter what your record was last year, good or bad, a sense of what you did last year does not define what you're going to do this year. Anything can happen. You've got to play the game, and you've got to play it the right way, and it'll reward you if you play it the right way. And sometimes when you do play it the right way, sometimes you just get beat. And hopefully that doesn't happen too often, but that it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in this conference, and especially the fact that we're only taking 4 to the conference tournament this year out of with the 11 that we have in the conference that are playing baseball. That's a challenge in itself. And our guys are aware of it. We're aware of it as a coaching staff. There's it's going to be a testament who can get through this 30-game schedule and be in those top 4 seeds to get into the in the tournament at the end. That's the biggest challenge in itself, I believe, because the conference being in the ASC before, it's always been a 6 or an 8 team tournament. So more get in. This year it's less. So you've got to play, and you've got to be able to get going from the start. You can't have too many lapses where you're just giving away games and making trouble for yourself later on in the year. So you've got to be on point. early, and you've got to make sure that you're doing the things and staying the course. There's different processes during the season. There's different goals that you have within the season. Our first goal right now is just to get ready for this first weekend. It's the only non-conference that we have weekend. The rest of the conference, the rest of the weekends in the spring are all conference games. So that's our first goal. Let's get ready for this weekend, see how it plays, and then we'll move into phase 2, which is getting ready for conference play next week.
Otto, as we wrap up with you, and you've had conversations with some of the other teammates and leaders within that clubhouse about some of the goals and expectations coming into this new year. What do those conversations look like? And ultimately, what do you see as being key for this group to accomplishing those things coming into the season?
Everybody that's been around here for a long time understands what this program is looking to do. If we play the baseball that we're supposed to play and how this program is supposed to identify, then we feel like we'll be at where we need to be at the end of the season. Whether that's taking care of little things, throwing strikes in certain situations, or just being a good teammate. We put a lot of focus on the mental side of this game and how you talk to yourself. I think we've got a great support system from the older guys and how we talk to the younger guys. I look forward to how those challenges come up. I think as a team, we don't look too far ahead. That goes back to the little things. We're focused on each play. Nobody here is thinking about, oh yeah, what are we going to do when we make the conference tournament? Everybody's taking it one game at a time. I know I'd say our first goal right now is to win this weekend. That's always our goal. And every day in practice, we're trying to win that day in practice. We're trying to get better. And if we keep winning and culminating that stuff as the season goes on, then we're going to be where we want to be. And that's, I feel, as a collective, where the whole team is at, is just win every single little situation.
Probably, Coach, as we wrap up with you, you talked a little bit about it in some of those challenges, but just, what's been the message to this group as you started to prepare them both mentally and physically to come into this season, coming off the year that you had? What's been that message from you and your staff to make sure they're as prepared as possible coming into this new challenge of 2025?
Just every day, bring the right attitude, effort, intensity, and hustle. I mean, just every day, bring those things and be coachable. Work on the things that we talk about. Make sure that you are taking care of your stuff off the field so that you can free your mind when you're out here. And that's a big thing too, is just be present in the moment. We talk about that with our guys constantly about just when you're here, be present. When you're in a game, be present in that moment and understand that not everybody gets to do this. And it's a privilege to be in this program and in our facility and be a part of this game, and it can teach you so much. But that's the general messaging for just take care of everything, take care of those little things, and this game will reward you in the end.
Concordia University head baseball coach Clint Mokry, along with leadership from graduate student Otto Franz. Coach Mokry and the Tornadoes will open up the 2025 season when they take on Howard Payne on February 7th. Coach Otto, thanks so much for your time today, and best of luck as you head into the season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.